It's time. Welcome back to Returning Retro, where we enjoy the journey of digital deliberatism and decluttering our virtual lives. So I am excited for today. I am going to show you what arrived on my doorstep a couple days ago. For those new here, please feel free to stop by the Reddit community. It is our Returning Retro right over there. Would love to have you join the conversation. But without any further delay, let's jump into the not only unboxing, but a unpackaging unboxing of the Bigme Hibreak Pro. Okay, so we've got the bubble wrap. All right, well, very Spartan packaging. That's okay. Don't mind that one bit. So we've got a bubble wrapped, looks like retail packaging here. Let's see if we can get it without the knife. Might need to use some pokey stabby one more time. Ta-da! Oh. Voila. So give a good look around the actual box itself. Same thing. All right. Let's dive in here, guys. As you can tell, you are experiencing this right along with me. I have not opened any of this previous to right now. Oh, here we go. Oh, there we go, guys. Okay. So we've got the little pull tab. Okay. Let's set this over here for a minute. Okay, so it appears it does ship inside the case, which is kind of cool. Ooh. Very nice. Might as well take it out of the case really quickly and see what. There it is, friends. Sadly, no headphone jack, but we will make do without it. And just to confirm here, you can kind of tell there is a pre-applied screen protector, which I think is a very nice touch. Okay, let's put it back in the case and see if we can power it on. This is the Bigme Hibreak Pro, and I've got to say, guys, I am very impressed. Now, it's hard for me to determine whether it exceeds my expectations or if I had tempered my expectations a bit and it meets them, and so I'm satisfied, but however you want to call it, this is an amazing device. I've been using it for about half a day, so this is very much just, as I just showed, an unboxing, unpackaging and unboxing, and first impressions video. From what I've experienced so far, I've really, really enjoyed it. I jotted a couple of thoughts down here on my handy little notepad here. I don't want to forget anything, but as far as first impressions go, overwhelmingly positive. This is something that I have never experienced an ePaper, e-ink phone of any kind. Really, the only experience I have with devices like this at all is a maybe even first generation Kindle Paperwhite. And so that was kind of the experience I had coming into this. And this thing is just so much more responsive, so much more zippy in terms of a real case or a real life use case. It's been very quick. I have currently, let me see if I can show you guys right there, about 51% battery remaining. it came out of the box. When I booted it up, it was at 88%. So it wasn't quite fully charged, but in those 8 hours I've been using it, it's only gone down 37%. That's with all of the setup. That's with testing some 5G on a couple of different networks. That's testing Spotify. That's testing all different web browsing, email. And so, yeah, I'm impressed. Usually the setup time on something drains the battery quite a bit if you don't have it plugged in. So the thoughts. RCS, not yet working. Not really sure why. It doesn't, I tried it on T-Mobile, a first-party SIM card, as well as Verizon via a US mobile SIM card. Couldn't get RCS working. Maybe there's a workaround. I'll let you know in the long term. The touchscreen is super responsive. This was something that, as I mentioned already, I was not expecting. But even if you've got it on some of the slower refresh rates, it is very, very responsive. Let me see if you guys can kind of see this here. So, I mean, let's go into read era. You guys can see it's just very responsive to the touch. We scroll down from the top, no notifications. We go into our control panel. Let's go into settings. And you can see here, oh, I was already at the bottom. And again, this is on one of the slower refreshes. So touchscreen, super responsive. Gesture navigation, the navigation gestures work just fine. Swipe up from bottom, from the sides to go back. Didn't have any issues with them. Something I was a little nervous about with it being an ePaper device. I wasn't sure what that would be like having come from that Kindle Paperwhite, but very responsive, works great. Bluetooth mouse and keyboard, I figured why not try it out? So I have a couple Logitech devices. Even with the extreme refresh rate turned on, the mouse cursor moving around was not a great experience, but I figured, hey, I'd try it out and let you guys know how it works. The stereo speakers worked surprisingly well. I was worried that they were going to be quiet or muffled. I was really impressed. This is a first impression, so that could change with use, but they got much louder than I expected. Not very much bass, but on the stereo speakers of most phones, there's not a lot of bass to begin with, but clarity was good. Volume was good. Very impressed. The USB-C headphones work fine. I plugged them in real quick, did some listening. Sound was surprisingly good. I didn't go in to see if there was any kind of built-in equalizer presets, but for just being able to plug and play with the USB headset, very, very good. There is no, as you guys probably saw, there is no headphone jack to speak of. So a little bit disappointing there. I would have loved to have seen that maybe in a future iteration, but the USB-C headphones worked fine. I'm sure the Bluetooth works fine given that the keyboard and mouse did. Again, in the longer term review, I'll let you know how that goes. This is a point I wanted to stress. Who is this for, this device? Well, I wouldn't really say it's for purist digital minimalists because it is very much a smartphone. In fact, it could really, with the one drawback being that it is obviously ePaper and is monochrome, there isn't really anything it's lacking in terms of what a modern smartphone would do. I wouldn't even know, as far as a returning retro category, as we've discussed, from basic phone to feature phone to retro smartphone to modern smartphone. This is more of a modern smartphone leaning device even than a retro smartphone because of the performance. Now, the camera, not great. I did a little bit of QR code scanning, worked fine for that, but the pictures that I took, very, very 2009 era. But as far as the regular performance, this is not what I would call in any way, shape, or form a dumb phone. It truly is a smartphone with an ePaper display. Now, there are some advantages to that. I found it much, and this is actually the last point I wanted to talk about here. The fact that it's an ePaper screen, has an ePaper screen, I just noticed myself today through the course of the day by default reaching for it less frequently. I don't know if it's that it's a permanent monochrome. I don't know if it's the refresh rate, probably a combination of both. But for my use case of digital decluttering, I have found already just a half a day's use, this has gone a long way to helping me out with that specific aspect of returning retro. So it's definitely not a smartphone in the modern sense, but it definitely has all of the horsepower to give you that smartphone-like experience. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to do a super quick unboxing and first impressions. Please, please, please leave a like, subscribe if you find this content useful, comment what you would like to see in the long-term review. Let me know. I'll do my best to include feedback in terms of the things that I will cover in the long-term review. Swing on over to the subreddit, Returning Retro, r/Returning Retro. What am I forgetting, guys? Anything else? Thanks for being here, and we'll see you in the next one.